I still can't wrap my head around what I just watched.
I've been covering professional wrestling for a long time, and in all those years, I don't think I've ever seen a WWE champion completely snap in a way that felt this real, this disturbing, and this reckless. Cody Rhodes, the man who finished the story, the American Nightmare, the face of the company who built his entire legacy around honor, family, and doing things the right way, just crossed a line that should never be crossed. On SmackDown, Cody didn't just attack Drew McIntyre.
He didn't ambush him backstage. He didn't jump him in the ring.
He got behind the wheel of a vehicle and attempted to run Drew McIntyre over in the parking lot. This wasn't some carefully edited segment full of camera cuts and obvious stunt work. This wasn't a traditional wrestling beatdown where everyone knows punches are pulled. This was Cody Rhodes aiming a car at another human being and flooring it, trying to crush him against a concrete wall. And what makes this even harder to stomach is the fact that WWE is clearly positioning this as justified. They are going to frame it as righteous anger, as a babyface finally snapping after weeks of provocation.
But let's be honest about what we all saw. This wasn't heroic. This wasn't inspiring.
This was attempted vehicular assault, and it raises serious questions about whether Cody Rhodes should be suspended, stripped of the WWE Championship, or written off television entirely. Before we go any further, hit that share button, because this breakdown is going to challenge everything you thought you knew about Cody Rhodes and might completely change how you see his entire championship run moving forward. To understand how we got here, we have to rewind and look at the weeks of psychological torment that Drew McIntyre has put Cody through. This didn't happen in a vacuum. Drew has been relentlessly targeting Cody, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally.
It started out relatively tame.
Drew interfered in a non-title match between Cody and Carmelo Hayes, causing a disqualification.
At the time, that felt like business. Drew making a statement. Drew positioning himself as the next challenger. But that was only the beginning.
Over the following weeks, Drew made it his mission to invade Cody's space. He showed up during Cody's championship celebrations and ruined them. He attacked Cody backstage multiple times, softening him up before important matches. He even sabotaged a tag team match involving Kevin Owens, deliberately creating tension between Cody and one of his closest allies.
None of this was random.
Drew was poking, prodding, and testing Cody, trying to prove that beneath the polished speeches and the legacy talk was a man who could be pushed to break. Everything reached a boiling point last week on SmackDown.
Drew didn't just attack Cody physically. He attacked what Cody stands for.
He grabbed Cody's weight belt, a symbol tied directly to Dusty Rhodes and Cody's family legacy, and destroyed it in front of the entire WWE universe. He ripped it apart, tossed it away, and told Cody that his father would be ashamed of the champion his son had become.
That wasn't trash talk. That was a calculated psychological nuke.
It was designed to be the ultimate insult, the one thing guaranteed to make Cody abandon his principles and lash out.
And it worked.
What nobody expected was just how far Cody would go. Friday night on SmackDown, Drew McIntyre had a scheduled match against Baron Corbin.
It was a standard match, nothing out of the ordinary.
Drew won decisively and then stayed in the ring to cut a promo. He mocked Cody, calling him a paper champion and questioning whether he had the killer instinct needed to be truly great. Drew was in full control, soaking in the moment, tearing down Cody's reputation piece by piece. That's when Cody's music hit, but something immediately felt off. Cody didn't come through the entrance. Instead, the camera cut to the parking lot, where Cody was already sprinting toward a black SUV. Commentary was confused. Michael Cole and Corey Graves speculated that maybe Cody had finally had enough and was leaving the building. Then Cody jumped into the driver's seat. The camera caught his face through the windshield, and the rage was unmistakable.
Drew clearly realized something was wrong. He dropped the promo and started walking up the ramp toward the back. The screen split between Drew heading backstage and Cody starting the engine. That's when it clicked for everyone watching. Cody wasn't leaving. He was turning that vehicle into a weapon. Drew stepped into the parking lot, and there was roughly 50 feet between him and the idling SUV.
For a brief second, they locked eyes. You could see the shift on Drew's face, from confusion to realization to genuine fear. He backed up, hands raised, shouting something we couldn't hear.
Cody didn't hesitate. He slammed the accelerator. Tires screeched. The engine roared.
The SUV launched forward straight at Drew McIntyre. In the final moment, Drew dove out of the way, rolling behind a concrete pillar as the SUV slammed into it with brutal force. The impact echoed through the arena.
The crowd gasped. Commentary went dead silent because no one knew how to react.
Cody sat there, breathing heavily, staring at the wreckage he'd just caused. Drew was on the ground, scrambling away, visibly shaken by how close he'd come to being seriously injured or worse. Officials, security, and wrestlers poured into the parking lot from every direction, some checking on Drew, others cautiously approaching Cody like he might do it again. If that wasn't bad enough, what came next made everything worse. After officials pulled Cody out of the SUV and restrained him, they put a microphone in his hand and gave him a chance to explain himself. This was the moment for remorse. The moment to show regret. Instead, Cody doubled down. He delivered one of the most unhinged promos I've ever heard from a supposed babyface champion. He said Drew wanted to see what happens when you push the American Nightmare too far. He said disrespecting his father's legacy wasn't just crossing a line, it was declaring war. And then he said something chilling. He told Drew he should be grateful that the concrete pillar was there, because Cody had no intention of hitting the brakes. Some fans cheered, conditioned to support Cody no matter what. Others gasped, clearly uncomfortable. This wasn't a wrestling promo anymore. This was a character openly admitting to attempting serious harm with zero remorse. Cody ended by challenging Drew to a parking lot brawl at the Royal Rumble, promising there would be no rules and no restrictions, then dropped the microphone and walked away as everyone else stood there in shock. Social media exploded instantly. Wrestling Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, every platform was flooded with reactions. The anti-Cody crowd seized on this as proof that Cody was never a true babyface, arguing that beneath the speeches was someone just as dangerous as any heel. They are calling for him to lose the title and turn heel immediately. On the other side, Cody's defenders are arguing that Drew pushed him too far, that destroying the weight belt crossed an unforgivable line, and that this is no different from the chaos of the Attitude Era. But both sides are missing the core issue. WWE just portrayed their world champion